Dancing in the morning, dancing in the evening time. Tropical emotions.
What do you say? Maybe we just have such good things to say that the world is trying to bring us down, but we're not going to. Okay?
It's take number 3. Still trotting along, dealing with the life control.
Yeah. Well, first the camera overheat, but more importantly, I forgot to plug in the microphones. And then Uncle was just doing his job mowing the grass, but it was not the ideal spot, so we found one new spot. But that's not what's important. What's important is we not giving up, and we still gonna get what we gotta do.
Still gonna do the podcast. Kudos to my brother over here. You guys can see the sun stay beaming on him.
It's okay.
I stay in the shade.
96 degrees.
In the shade.
So, aloha everybody. Welcome back to the Wise Up podcast. I have a very special guest with me here today. He goes by the name of Kalawelo Aukai Kamaka Oke Kai Kuehu, but for short, he just likes to be called Velo.
How's it? It's brother Velo over here. Stay on the mic. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
As you can tell, he's also from Hawaii, and kind of speak on that. Let's for a third time. Let's see.
So a little bit about myself. My name is Velo. 21, from the island of Hawaii, and I moved out here in 2019, and I've been out here ever since.
Well, good. And how much of it was a culture shock to you when you got here? Like, did you feel like you were in a different world that you were used to living in?
Yeah, me personally, I've never left the island until moving here. So, for me personally, it definitely was a big culture change, big personal change. It's a big change overall. But
I think sometimes change is good though and necessary. Because if you were to look back and say that you never would to make that jump or that risk, do you think your life would have turned out drastically different?
Yes. For one, I wouldn't be sitting here on the Wise Up podcast. I'll be at home, wising up.
Wising up, doing your chores.
Wising up, doing my chores. Making sure my siblings are in check. Family is pretty much law back at home. You know how it is. It's all family or nothing. So, you always gotta make sure that you never forget where you come from. Remember
good one.
Remember the love.
Speaking of home, I know personally that you grew up like living off the land in the water.
Yeah, me personally, I did grow up on the countryside, more of a country boy than I am city. Only kind of sort of turned city ever since I moved out here, but I do love going up north to places like Flagstaff and Sedona. They're more a little bit closer to my roots because there's green trees, nature out there, way more than there is here in the city. All this is cactus. I mean, yada yada. But like growing up over there, I just kind of grew up learning the ways of the land. Hunting.
Avatar, Way of the Water. That was based off your life, right?
Navigating from the forest to the ocean.
Did you like that movie? I thought it was pretty good, but
Avatar: Way of the Water.
I thought it was kind of goofy when they were like
imitating the culture.
Yeah.
But it was pretty funny to me. I thought it was funny.
Nah, it was cool.
But no, like in a way, if I was a part of the water tribe, the whole time, then I would say so. Yeah, but um, hunting was more so of a occasional thing. I
Yeah.
wasn't really a big hunter guy. I really did thrive in the ocean, fishing, throwing net, diving.
Yeah, and then you're
Um,
big, and then you get picked up and dropped in the desert.
yeah, came from on a beautiful island in the middle of the ocean to a desert. It's the biggest change of my life. Bugger gets real hot over here, and then Bugger gets real cold. So kind of spoiled with the weather back at home. It's perfect weather year round.
What I'm so I'm not I grew up most of my life in the mainland, so I'm curious as to what kind of jobs do people typically get coming out of high school? Like I know people go to
Construction.
college. It's mostly construction or union.
Construction.
And
Without a doubt, construction.
and that's all that's cool. I'm not knocking
It
it.
pays great.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the price of paradise, though. You get paid great, you spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
A gallon of milk's like $10, $7 on sale. So you price point that. Gas on average is about 5 something. So I mean, we got a luxury living up here, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
nice, but like out here, you got a lot more opportunity for jobs because you're not confined to an island.
Right.
But back at home, obviously you can work like teleservice jobs online. You can do that from anywhere in the world, really. But back at home, majority of the jobs that, especially local boys like us, will end up in construction, electricians, handyman work. Like hands-on, kind of work. Got your occasional restaurant worker, all that kind of jazz, but same smell, It's
Yeah.
different place.
When we went to Puerto Peñasco, did you kind of find? Well, I mean, it's a lot different, but even the culture there was a lot of similarities out that I was surprised about. Bless you.
Oh. Puerto Penasco. Pretty sure I was blasted the whole time.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You were living it to the fullest.
Yeah, the legal drinking age over there was 18. I was thinking about 19 at the time. Not legal.
That's something nice though too about living in the mainland is that maybe you don't travel all the time, but it's nice to have the option to if I want to go to California, I can go to California. It's not like cuz
You're not confined. Like I said,
Yeah.
you're not confined to a singular island because it's not like you can drive from here. You can't drive from there to California if you wanted to. But like here, if I just woke up and I'm like, fuck, I want to go to Cali for a day. I
Yeah.
can drive my happy ass 5 hours out west and end up in Cali and drive my happy ass 5 hours back and end up back at home in my bed.
well home is always going to be home.
No,
though.
home will always be home. Sadly, it's a flight away, but
Yeah.
always home. But like I think there's so much luxury to life out here as compared to back at home. You're very confined, whether it's from the price points of everything and how expensive it is. So your opportunity there is very limited. As compared to here, there's so much opportunity here.
And I think a lot of Polynesian families are starting to unfortunately give in because it's being forced, like these at what point can we say, we you got to end up making the move. And it's unfortunate because that's our home, but getting priced out of paradise,
Because it's like you can own land. You can own land there. You can have a house on there. My family owns some land. We got a house, but if they're gonna be like, obviously they can take all the stores away if they wanted to. Shit, we've been raised to live off the land exactly how we've been.
Yeah.
For the fucking past century. But like then they could be like, oh well, you can't fish in this water. Like they'll keep stacking stuff on until they quite literally
property tax,
just-
all these kind of
just
things.
kick us out. Like
Yeah.
then they'll just keep ramping stuff up till we give it up to them, and it's like that's just kind of how it's been. It's
So
life.
speaking of that, I haven't done too much research on it because it makes me really sad when I think about it deeply, but what are your thoughts on the Lahaina fires?
Well, I got family over on Maui, so personally, I just needed to make sure my family was okay, which they are. They're fine. Luckily, they weren't in the area of Lahaina, nor did they live there. They lived on a different part of Maui, but it is very tragic, and especially right now, there is a lot of like controversy going on because people are trying to donate goods to these families who are in need, who lost everything, and the government is kind of gatekeeping it. And I mean, maybe I'm listening to biased to research or what, but
No, the facts are facts.
like
So,
based off of
yeah.
what my family is saying and based off of what I know, the people aren't getting what they need at all, and they're getting gatekeeped, and it like is definitely very heartbreaking to hear that, because it's like someone has to take care of these families, and if they're going to stop us from trying to take care of each other, they're going to implode themselves, because we will always fight for ourselves and for each other,
Yeah.
and we will continue to do so on a fucking daily basis until the day we die, because that's just how we are. All love.
It just I don't have enough evidence and facts, but it just appears to be a planned scheme because
Very controversial.
we get fires on Oahu all the time, and that shit's controlled and it's put out. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I know that people were not warned because they didn't want people to go up to the mountain where the fire was, but something definitely wasn't right and it was fishy. And yeah, it's very tragic, very very aggravating. And as I watch these council meetings with the people and like just to hear the stories, and like I sometimes I feel helpless because as much as I can donate and I can send materialistic things, but if I'm not there and being able to do what I can physically, it hurts me sometimes a lot.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely wish that I could be there as well, just helping out. Like, but even doing that though, from a double-edged sword, being there, wanting to help, and then the government telling you can't.
Yeah.
That's another rip in the current. So it's a give and take. Like, we're here observing from the mainland, and all we can do is be heartfelt about it, and like,
We're doing our part by bringing an awareness to it as well.
yeah, and it's, I don't know, it seems so staged,
Yeah.
just the way that the fire burned through the town. Maybe it's just my biased nature because I am from Hawaii, and I hate anything directed negatively towards my culture, and my people. So maybe from a biased point of view, I think it's definitely a plot, but it's how I feel, and that's my opinion on the matter, because everything just seems so different. The alarms didn't sound. They're saying the alarms are only for tsunamis. People would have evacuated towards the mountains. Like, any kind of warning would have been good. Police going around the town, letting people know to evacuate. Nothing.
Well, they were blocking the roads.
Yeah, and in a state of emergency, people get evacuated.
Yeah.
Who got evacuated that day? Very, very few people. Everybody ended up in the ocean. Everybody ended up having to flee very, very last second. So, like, to me, it's just fucking stupid. Like, it's just fucked up, honestly.
Yeah. No, for real. And what aggravates me even more is when celebrities try to profit off of Hawaii and, any chance they
Like,
get.
publicity, and
Yeah.
especially during traumatic events like this, like catastrophes, and they show up, they're already a big public figure. So they show up and they're like, "Oh, I'm here to support this, and this. I'm donating this, and this." It's all for publicity, bro.
Well,
Like,
I don't like when
I don't know if they truly care. Like, maybe like people like The Rock, someone who's heartfelt from home.
Hell no. Fuck him.
No, not The Rock. Jason
No.
Momoa, maybe.
No, Jason Momoa. What the reason why I'm saying The Rock is because he put out a video with Oprah about asking for donations for Maui, and they're two of like the richest people on the planet asking for donations. Like you can't. Oprah has a house on Maui, and she can't help. You know what I mean? That just looks fishy to me. You're Oprah. You give away free cars all the time. But then again, like I don't know all the facts. It just doesn't sound.
Speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, but all in all, what I'm saying is they do it for publicity to
Yeah.
continue to keep themselves relevant,
Always
in this day
profiting
and
off
age.
our land and our people.
Profiting in any way, shape, or form they can. Really.
Well,
Gold mine.
our hearts and our prayers go out to those in Lahaina and anybody who was affected, because we are affected, inadvertently. And if there's anything more that I could do, like if I didn't have my job, I'd fly over there right now. But all we can do right now is stay strong and continue to be there for one another.
Yeah. So all of my sisters over there, helping out, trying to get food to the people who are in need in the shelters and stuff. So, I wish I could be there to help her do that, but I'm up here. So they got my hopes and prayers with them. Hope for the best, always.
Hell yeah. Well, let's transition into something that I want to talk to you about is I know like a part of the reason we kind of discussed it. Part of the reason why you had agreed to come on to this podcast was to help inspire people. And I know that you have been through a lot of trauma and things that a lot of people have and have not gone through. And so what would you say your biggest advice would be for people that are struggling with mental illnesses or something that that really affects them in their daily life?
Well, first of all, I want to throw it out there. I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm not
I know that.
Not the top G. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like all of these other influencers out there. I'm literally just a nobody. I'm just a guy who has had an interesting life at such a young age. So, I'm not gonna be saying a bunch of things like they would, but just speaking from my own heart and from my soul, I definitely have had a very rewarding life in a sense. And I did want to come on this podcast mainly for inspirational means and honestly just to be here. Happy to be here. But because of the life that I've gone through and the life I've lived, the experiences I've gone through, I feel like I'm able to relate to somebody out there. Whether it's someone who's going through depression. I've been there. I've been at the lowest of the low that I possibly could. Tried to commit suicide. I've tried to, harm myself on more times than I can count. So I've been at the lowest of the low. I've experienced loss. I lost my father a couple years ago. That was a very traumatic point in my life. So just a slight little peek into the trauma I've been through. But, I'm very, very grateful for all of it because it definitely has helped me grow into the man that I am now, in every way possible.
And I think, I appreciate you being able to be open and talk about that because I know that it takes a lot of strength. And, I definitely commend you for just being able to overcome any adversity that gets thrown your way and Yeah, dude, you're living it, and I think you hit it right on the nail when you said that we're not trying to be here to act like, you know, some guys who know it all, because we definitely don't. We're learning every single day.
We're definitely just two guys. Uh, Missing one. Definitely two brothers out here just trying to spread some love, some inspiration. Just kind of reach out, to you guys out there who may need somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe you might not need, three local brothers from Hawaii talking your ear off, but if you do,
We're here.
Stovia at the Wise Up podcast. Stovia. um, no, but like I said, I mean, I can't speak like them because I view life very differently. Everybody views life differently. Everybody lives their life the way that they want to. Everybody's, very tailored to living their life however they wish to live. And for me personally, I choose to view life from a very open perspective, and try to view everything to its complete possibility.
So whenever I'm curious, because I have my own stories as well, or like my own scenarios that I go through in my head. But whenever you're in a hole or have felt like you've backed yourself into a corner, what kind of goes through your head when you're like, okay, I need to figure things out? Because I think a lot of people are scared to fall down and scared to fail, right? But and I think that's what holds a lot of people back. I was scared to do this podcast because I'm like, no one's going to listen to me. I'm not relatable. I can't do these kind of things, but I just want to be able to spread, like you said, positivity and knowledge, because I believe that like times now, we are more connected as a people than we ever were.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a long question. Basically, like,
Um,
what keeps you going every day when you're feeling down?
um, God, a lot of things really, but mainly it's just because my drive for life right now is at its all-time high. I was at a point where I would wake up and I'd be like, "Damn, I wish I didn't wake up today." You don't ever want to be at that point in your life. You don't want to wake up and be like, "I wish I didn't wake up today." Think about the people around you. If you ever wake up or you're going through your day or you're literally just sitting there in your bed and you're thinking about your life and how worthless it is, you're worth something to somebody. You have a friend out there who values you. You have someone out there who you've done something for, who you may not understand but may need you the most.
Mm.
You may have a mother who loves her son, or a father who loves his son or daughter, or vice versa, and you're just gonna sit there and selflessly think about yourself and be like, I'ma just not want to be awake today. If you didn't wake up, imagine how they'd feel. Loss of a daughter, loss of a son. You don't want to put them through that. Like, if he were to not wake up tomorrow, I would be distraught. Like, it's like family to me. So without him, my life would definitely spiral into a downhill battle. But I've been through loss. I've lost my father, and that was a very downhill battle. But even though I had time to grieve and mourn the loss of my father, I eventually had to realize that in order to put respect on his name, to do him proud, I had to continue living like the man that he would have wanted me to be.
Well
So
said.
I continue to push through to be that man that he wanted me to be on a daily basis. And that's how you should constantly view your life, is to be the person that you want to be. And even if you're not there right now, and you feel like you're never going to get there, you will. Embrace yourself, like, embrace yourself, embrace waking up every day. Wake up and be like, damn, I can go to work today. I can get money. I can meet new people. I can meet new friends. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. You just have to put your mind to it and actually go and do it.
Well said. I'm ready to run through a wall right now.
And, I just, feel like a very important thing to note is the people you surround yourself with will be your biggest influence. So if you're surrounded by people who just love to go out, love to party, don't have their priorities straight, you're going to end up attaching onto their habits and their tendencies as well. You're going to end up going out. You're going to end up partying. As compared to if you surround yourself with people who have good habits, people who encourage you to hit the gym with them every single day, people who encourage you to want to invest your money, or people who want to encourage you to basically benefit your life in a very positive way on a daily basis, those are the people you want around you. Someone who will make an impact on your life, or someone who will influence you in a positive way so you gain something. And it's not saying that you have to utilize your relationship with them to gain something for yourself, but it's always a good thing to note that someone who will positively impact your life is someone who deserves to be around you on a daily basis, as compared to people who will, if you're surrounded by people who all they do is talk shit about you, put you down, not motivate you to go any further in your life. Why do you want to surround yourself with people like that? What's the point? What do you gain from that? You gain nothing. You gain absolutely nothing. You actually end up going in a opposite direction than where you want to go, you know?
Couldn't have said it better myself. Birds of a feather flock together.
Gotta fly on the mic.
Oh, no, you said that perfectly. And that's something we've been preaching on here, is that, not only is it important for us to focus on our own self goals, but to surround ourselves with like-minded people who are willing to do what it takes to get to where they want to be, whether that's physically, mentally, career-wise, however you want to better yourself. I'm all for it. And I think that you hit it right on the nail right there. You can tell you've been wanting to say that for a while, huh?
Nah, I've just been cooking up, practicing my speech in my room to myself. Trying to wait for the time for actually show up on the Wise Up podcast.
No, well, it's crazy though. I think back to, how long has it been? 3-4 years already. I don't even know. It feels like a lifetime.
It feels like I've definitely known you since I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah, feels like I've known you my whole life, but I've really only known him for about 4 years.
Right.
Met him when I first moved out here. So that's the thing about coming from Hawaii, right? Like, we're all raised the same way. We're all raised, to give love. Just how it is.
Yeah.
So when I first met him, he was wearing a mask, because I was like during COVID time a little bit, like just when it first started. So he was wearing a mask, and it was like a flower decorated mask, but I could tell it was from Hawaii. So I'm like, he's wearing a Hawaii shirt. So I go up to him. I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, you from Hawaii, bro? And he's like, yeah, bro, you. I was like, yeah, bro, me too. He's like, oh shit. So I'm like, oh, what part you from? He's like, Oahu. I was like, oh, me too. What part? And then like he kept trying to avoid it. He kept trying to avoid it because he knew. But my brother Ovia is from Melilani. No disrespect to you Melilani guys.
No, right. But it's
still just saying.
It's crazy because it's such a small area that there's where how people are gonna act from what parts they live in or what parts they're from.
And the way that my brother Ovio was playing volleyball that day, I was like, this guy gotta be from somewhere else. Somewhere like Milan.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I'm from there, but I didn't really grow up there.
I know. But I could tell, brother get the tendencies, still get the heart, even though he moved out here at a young age, the heart wouldn't follow him.
You could take the boy off the island, but sometimes you cannot take the island out the boy.
Yeah.
But it is funny because I was trying so hard to navigate my way from not saying Mililani. I was like, oh yeah, you from Hawaii too? Yeah. And then you kept going, what part you from? What part? I'm like, Mililani.
I was waiting.
He went from oh.
My boy said Melilani. I was like, oh.
You skeezer.
My boy is on scrub. But We ended up hitting it off, and then we've been boys ever since.
Honestly, I don't even think I really got to tell you this, but if it wasn't for you in my life, I don't think I would be the person I am today because I, you know, changed my life around completely. I wasn't living the way I wanted to live, whether it was, my fitness goals or you know, I wasn't really who I was as far as valuing um where I was in my life, or just I was in a dark spot as well. Not to the extent of like most people out there, but I never really had to face anything traumatic like that um, until I think the last time I've even cried was with you in the car that one day. But it's just crazy how these things that will bring you down in life will make you stronger, right?
Yeah, and like a big thing to note is vulnerability isn't something that makes you weak, especially from a man's perspective. Like
100%.
men out there, majority of men, just a biased perspective, by the way, from me, myself, and I. Um, Majority of men out there, they very much burden themselves with the idea that men in nowadays society have to kind of bear the world on their shoulders.
Mm.
They gotta protect their woman. They gotta
Make $1
they
million.
gotta yeah, they gotta make a bunch of money. They gotta do this. They gotta do that. They gotta stay strong. They can't confide their feelings. They can't do this. They can't do that because the picture of a man is supposed to be something which I mean it really isn't. Like you're allowed to be vulnerable. You're allowed to cry.
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna think you're fucking weak for crying. Like just because they haven't cried in a long time doesn't mean that they're better than you. Like they just have a different experience with life. Like they probably didn't ever have to cry as much, or maybe they've just suffered so much they don't have any tears left to cry. I just think that like we have to accept that it's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure I'm trying to
to-
get better at it today.
to open up and to like be in tune with yourself,
Mhm.
and the more you embrace it, the easier it becomes to be comfortable in your own skin. I feel like speaking from personal experience, I'm a very vulnerable person, a very vulnerable guy.
But it's also hard to find that balance of being vulnerable and open to people, but not letting people take advantage of your kindness and break your heart, if you will.
Yes, that is a very big up and down, but that's where it comes down to the fear.
Yeah.
The fear of stepping into something that you're uncomfortable with. The only way you're going to conquer that fear is by doing it.
Yeah.
You're afraid to get hurt, just like you're afraid to fail.
Yeah.
You don't want to try something new because you're afraid it's not going to work out, or you're afraid it's going to fail. It works just the same. It's a double-edged sword. Like just because you're like, afraid someone's going to take advantage of you, you're not going to take that leap. That's not fair to them.
Yeah.
Well,
I think,
what if they're giving it to you?
Yeah.
What if they're being vulnerable with you, but you're sitting here like, okay, well, you know what? Last time I was vulnerable, I got hurt. So because of that, I'm not going to be vulnerable with you. That's not fair to them. Well, what did they do to you?
I'm definitely guilty of that for sure.
That's projecting. Like I said, like, I mean, this was probably on one of the other takes, but just in case I didn't say it. Someone could have a horrendous day. They could go to work, get fired, or they could lose somebody. Like the day I lost my dad, I was a very, very negative person that day. And people will go through negative things and project that negativity that they feel within themselves onto other people who are completely undeserving of that projection. And I feel like that is something that I've learned along the way, is that I used to project a lot of negativity onto people. Like there was a point in time where I used to be so cold towards life. I'd wake up and not care about people or anything or anyone, and I would just push everybody away. Even though all they wanted to do was help me, I would just push them away. Like I would be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, don't fucking talk to me. Shit like that. You don't want to be my friend? Cool. Who gives a fuck? Not me. Shit like that. Like that's not cool. Like what are they doing to me that makes me want to do that? Nothing. It's because I'm projecting my negativity onto them because I got hurt or because something happened to me negatively. Like, no. So now, being in this state I'm in, I'm able to take those bad days. Like something bad will happen, and I'm able to take that and turn it into something inspirational or positive towards the day. Like if I got fired from work, I'd be like, well, damn, that opens up a lot of free time. Now I can sleep in late. Now I can go to the gym until I find another job. Like, yeah, it's gonna suck. Yes, you are allowed time to negate those negative feelings and turn them into positivity and stuff, but definitely don't be one of those people who just go out there and project their negativity onto other people, because you never know what someone is going through. You could be talking down somebody who's already at a low point, and you could end up pushing them over the edge where they want to take their life. And of course, yeah, that's not your problem. And of course, yes, like, you may not care, but someone in their life cares. And it's just that possibility that you should be grateful for, that you're one of the few people who is actually considerate of other people.
Yeah.
And that's just all a part of the love that we're trying to make aware out there, like awareness for like just being more positive,
Yeah, one small action can snowball into a big one.
little domino effect.
Yeah, but I think lately this week I've been trying to reevaluate what I define as true happiness for myself, and I thought that it was having a lot of money, being able to do whatever I wanted, but I, I'm thinking on it, and then I realize, like, I don't know what really makes me happy. Like, I know when I'm happy, when I'm feeling happy, but what am I gonna do in my life that will bring me happiness? And that's what I've been trying to figure out this week on a deeper level. Like, obviously, I know I'm happy when I'm at the gym. I know I'm happy when, I do certain activities or when good things happen, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you have a true definition of happiness, or when when you do something you're happy?
So for me, happiness has always been a very evasive emotion. Most of my life I was never very happy. I grew up definitely having a lot more negative emotions than anything. But becoming the man I am today, and having all the experiences I've had, just from where I'm at. I speak like I'm 40 years old. I'm only 21. But I feel like true happiness really solely relies on what makes your soul happy. Brings out your inner child, makes you laugh a very genuine laugh. And
That's a good answer.
true happiness isn't something that can be a hard set in stone definition, like the color red is red. Like
Right.
It's not that set in stone. It's a very gray area. Feeling true happiness and feeling happiness are almost one and the same. Just one is more euphoric of a feeling than another.
Yeah.
It's like nostalgia, like
Mm-hmm.
going home.
Yeah.
You feel at home because you literally are at home. You're in the ocean, you're eating all this food, and you're just so happy to be there. That is a form of true happiness. True happiness comes in all shapes and sizes and different forms, and there's not one set in stone, clear-cut definition. But to me personally, true happiness is any place, any time, any person, or anything that brings you an unprecedented amount of true and genuine happiness. A genuine smile, a genuine laugh, a genuine enjoyment of being in that space or being in that presence of that person or being where you're at and doing what you're doing. That to me is true happiness. So maybe having a lot of money might be your true happiness. Maybe being in the gym might be your true happiness. Those are all forms of being truly happy. And like it could be honestly anything that
only we're gonna know why we're laughing at this point. sorry to throw you off.
only
Okay, well, okay, wait, hold on. Let me come in here. So what it sounds like what you're trying to say is a lot of the times people are trying so hard to find what makes them happy. Like, oh, I need to do this so I can be happy, and then it's unfulfilling once they finally do it.
especially with money.
Yeah.
Like someone's gonna be like, damn, if only I had the money for this, I could do this, I could do that. Imagine if you had all the money in the world.
Then you'd have nothing.
Imagine if you're a
essentially.
millionaire. You've done all the things that money can buy. Then what? You're alone.
Yeah.
You have no relationship, no wife, no kids, no legacy, no friends. You
Yeah.
lose your friends because all they want to do is use you for your money because they don't have any.
Yeah.
What true value connection do you have there?
Exactly.
Like for me personally, you're my boy already, and if you become a millionaire, you still be my boy.
Right.
But like even though you were a millionaire and you were to act up or you were to do something retarded, I let you know.
Yeah, you need people like
That's
that.
not people that if you had a bunch of money and then they became your friend, they would never tell you that. Like
Yeah.
say you had a lady, right? Say you
Right.
had a lady, we're out at the club and some girl's all over you, dancing on you, and you're entertaining it. You're letting her dance on you, and stuff. Like I go up to you and I'd be like, hey bro, you really shouldn't be doing this. I think it's best if we leave. You definitely shape up. This isn't you. You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Right? As compared to, and say you paid for the VIP area, you're having a bunch of girls come over and all of that and stuff, and you're in there getting entertained too. I'd let you know, like, hey, we shouldn't do this. Let's just drop this shit and leave. You have more money than you know what to do with, but you're someone who will only value you for your money. They'd be like, oh hell yeah, go my boy, like live in the streets, even though you're in a committed relationship. Like
just a bunch of yes men.
Exactly, people who just conform because that's not the type of people you want in your life, man. You want people who will keep you on the right path. You want people who will motivate you to continue to be a good person, not anything different.
That's some deep stuff right there.
Hey, bro, live and you learn. Surrounded by a bunch of different guys throughout my life,
Yeah,
that's when you learn the ones who really stick around.
Oh, check out this dust storm we in.
Shit.
Trying for get us out this podcast to spread this word, but no, we here. We're not going anywhere. If we had to jump in the water and hold the microphone, I going.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's our third take. We have to relocate 2 times already.
Wow, my lips is so dry right now. I need some water. But we going 20 more minutes because I promise these people 1 hour every week. I want to do, like, eventually I want to get into two episodes a week, but that's some BTS talk.
Yeah. Well, brought over here trying to forgive me for wake up at 5 in the morning.
Usually we record early in the morning because that's when my other co-host Larry is getting out of work.
That's my cousin.
Yeah, small world.
My family, or you doing?
Can't tell. Nah, just kidding.
Why he act like me? Or are you gonna say I act like him?
No, I mean it worked out because everything happens for a reason.
Oh,
but
brother, my mic is off.
you lying. Why are you lying?
Nah, joking.
I was like, you were getting on my ass about not plugging in the mics, 3 takes, and all of a sudden you want to. I was about to say, guy, we're gonna have to reschedule.
We're gonna have to relocate again.
If we're not,
We're gonna move to the other side of this pond over here.
we may not be able. We might have to reschedule that time, bro. But
we stay over here. Wise Up podcast. Stay over here. Better wise up.
yeah, it's just I would have never have thought that we would be where we are today. And what's even crazier to think about is where we're gonna be in the future. Now starting this and wanting to be fully committed, like I can only imagine. It's only been we are completely different people from 3 years ago when we met. Imagine how life is gonna change us in the next 2-3 years again. And now we get to document it and put it on out there for everybody to see us
just
goofies.
Just to throw it out there, I still got the past 3 years on documentation too. Got a lot of fun memories. Should have seen my boy in Puerto Penasco.
I wasn't the one going crazy. I mean, my belly was going crazy.
I wasn't saying that. I definitely was the one going crazy though, like I said. I was enjoying my life at that point.
I think you needed to go through that though, obviously, because that was a tough point. But
ooh, yeah, that was a tough point. Happened when I got back, but that's a story for another time.
I can't wait till Larry comes because we're gonna bring up so many stories. I'm gonna have to turn the mic level down so low because you guys are gonna go nuts. Like, you, brah. Why you lying? Because I gotta be prepared for that day when we all record together.
Yeah.
But Auntie's staring at us. We have some special guests at a podcast.
Unc's over here and Ante still going sit on the bench. That's goals when I stay older.
I've been debating on trying to maybe transition into a studio, but people say they like the outdoor. When you were watching it, did you enjoy the outdoor scenery, or would you like honestly?
Speaking from a personal perspective, I honestly like both. I like watching podcasts that are in studios, and I also like your podcast is the first one I've seen outdoors.
Leave a comment down below because we out here sweating for you guys, but it's worth it if you are enjoying this content.
Just to throw it out there, I'm not really sweating. He is, but
it's okay. I go and do them because it's worth it.
I think it's worth it too. Yeah, I'm enjoying the shade over here. Still about 96 degrees in the shade, but still living life.
Oh man,
it's gonna be me when I get older, bro. Sitting with my wife.
Honestly, and in really recently too, I haven't unlocked this fear up until recently. I'm not even middle age yet, but I've been thinking a lot about death, and that sounds scary, but
does it?
For me, yeah, because I'm like I haven't even. Well, not that I'm scared to die, but I think what I've been scared of the most is not leaving anything behind, like my legacy. I have
a kid then. Just have a baby.
Yeah.
You should just have a kid, right?
Oh my gosh, I can't even take care of myself. I can't even remember to plug the mics into the camera, and you want me to take care of one little one.
Oh shit!
Forgot to feed the baby.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Oh shit! Did I feed him today? Damn. Shit, where is he? I swear he was just right.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
Who do you think is gonna be the first out of me and you, or out of all of us? You think you or Larry? Larry?
Yeah.
I don't know, guy. I mean, I know you're proud of what you, but I think you might be the first.
Me?
Maybe. Yeah.
Guys, I know I look like it, but I'm not that guy. I'm really not that guy. I think my cousin's gonna be first.
Okay.
100%.
I was talking to him about it, but you guys had came up with a pact to where if one of your people.
That's true. So I mean, I speak like it's not gonna happen, but if he has a kid, I will have a kid.
It's a contract. It's like a man honor contract where you guys were like, okay,
Shit,
we're gonna have kids at the same time.
We grew up together since we were babies. We're exactly the same age. So our friend group had made a pact that as soon as one of us has kids, we're all having kids. So all our kids could grow up together and have a potentially same life as we did.
Oh, luckily, one of you never had one at like 16. You would have had to had the.
Hey, what are you talking about? Wait, I know it's not me, but I'm not talking about me. Yeah. I'm about Larry.
But okay, well, I think we've come to that point to where we have a tradition so far, three episode tradition to where, what is one thing that you look on for this next week that you want to improve on, or something that you want to accomplish this within the week, and then I'll hopefully we can get back to you and see how your progress. So like it could be something small, like I want to drink less sugar, or I want to do. The point of this is to really evaluate our lives and then have a bunch of mini successes that will equal to one big success when we look back on this and later. So what's one thing you want to improve on this week, brother? Oh, he's really thinking about it.
I want to win my first game this Friday.
Oh, okay.
So I play volleyball. I play semi-professional volleyball. Nothing crazy. I just usually play at open gyms. I played for college for like a day, but really nothing.
So do you technically? So you want to play? You want to win, or do you want to? Or I mean, ideally you want to have both. But like, so your goal is just to win.
So the goal that I want to set for myself is to, one, win the game.
Okay.
And two, because I like to make things complicated and set very high goals for myself, I want to get at least 15 kills.
Damn, that's half the point.
In the entire match. It is a best of 3, so potential of going to 5. I want at least 15 kills and at least 5 blocks.
That's 5 blocks?
So 3 goals in one day. A dub, 15 kills, and 5 blocks.
All right. Well,
I definitely feel like I'm capable of it.
We'll touch back on that one.
We will touch back on it. My game is this Friday. Today is Tuesday. So we'll have another podcast next week where we find out if I fulfilled that goal or not.
All right. What's one goal for me? I think one of my goals is to be better about sleeping, because I haven't been really valuing.
Stop the cap.
Okay. Let me pick
Stop
a different
the cap.
one. Let me pick a different one. Cause I've been doing good, bro. I've been doing good.
That's how it really gets around here the moment that shit flew from his mouth.
Okay.
Stop the cap.
Okay, how about this? I want to be better about committing to more animes, cause
That's a doable one.
okay.
That's a doable one.
So maybe I'll watch. I want to finish one season of an anime this week. I watched Hell's Paradise. It was actually pretty good. Have you seen Hell's Paradise?
Of course. Yes, I have.
It was
a very
pretty
good anime.
It was.
I'm a nerd, by the way, guys.
I caught up.
Just so you guys know.
Maybe we can talk about that on our next week's
very
podcast.
big weeb. Very much into anime, video games, anything nerd-like. I've done my whole life. Played video games, watched anime, so it's a very big part of my life.
Okay, so that's my goal. And now I want you to give out one message to the world that you think they need to hear this week.
Just make sure you're there so you don't get fined.
Classic. All right, my message is, if you haven't already, reach out to the ones who matter to you the most and tell them that you appreciate them.
I'm gonna reevaluate my last message. the one thing I want to say to all you people out there is just make sure that you always let them know that you just work there
Oh my God.
and take you a long way.
All right. Well, thank you for being a part of this episode of the Wise Up podcast. I really appreciate it. If you can, hopefully we can get you back in on a continuous basis. I know you have a busy schedule, but it's always a pleasure to have you whenever we can.
It's a pleasure to be here. My first day. Very happy to try and make this thing a repetitive thing.
Yeah.
So definitely try to make more time. Hopefully the other co-host can be here.
Oh, shots.
Don't know where he's at.
About to get work. He works at night.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know exactly what he'd say in this very moment in time.
What?
Yeah. Where you work? Where you work? That's exactly what he'd say.
Yeah.
What you do?
Yeah. Oh,
That's exactly what he'd
I
say.
can't wait until we have him on.
You guys don't really know me and my cousin when we're together. It's-
I'm nervous for how it's going. Actually, this might be a perfect setup because we can have him right here. So wouldn't have had this realization without you here today and 3 trial attempts. But we got it right. So hopefully I plug the camera in, but we're going to find out. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please comment, like, subscribe.